Today's Friday, December 22nd. This is an end-of-day review of a position I took earlier today involving the Invesco Deutsche Bank US dollar bullish ETF, ticker symbol UUP. And as of today's closing price, the ETF ended the week at $27.15. So this is a chart layout at the daily time frame. So each candlestick represents a day's worth of trading. This is the candlestick for today. The red vertical dash lines are markers for expiration Friday for monthly option contracts. The most recent expiration was last Friday, December 15th, and the upcoming expiration is January 19th. So over the past week and a half, there's been a significant drop in the dollar, and that has affected this specific ETF. So earlier this week, the dollar, which is tracked by the DXY index, the dollar index, was as high as 102.40-ish, but then ended the week on the downside, closing at 101.70. So I've been tracking the dollar. However, I'm anticipating that the dollar has room for a bounce heading into the upcoming January 19th expiration. So with the drop in the dollar, again, putting negative pressure on this specific ETF, there was a significant gap in price. And what I'm referring to is this gap right here. So from this candlestick on December 14th, where it closed at $28.90 to this opening price or high price of $27.37 on December 18th, there was a significant gap in price, creating a $1.49 drop in value. And typically, whenever there's a gap, whether it's a gap down or a gap up, all markets, the stock market, the futures market, crypto market, the foreign exchange market, whatever the market is, at some point in the future, unfortunately nobody knows when that will be, price will reverse itself to filling this gap or filling a gap. So heading into the January 19th, I'm anticipating that this gap could potentially be filled. I'm not saying the entire gap will be filled. Based on my assessment, I'm anticipating at least a 3% fill of this entire gap, which would put UUP around $28.20 on or before the close of January 19th expiration trading session. So earlier this afternoon, as mentioned, switching over to the trade tab, I did take a position involving option contracts that are expiring January 19th. 28 days from today. And right down here, the details. Relative to the spot price of $27.15, I selected a spot price of $27.50. I did pick up 25 contracts, and all 25 contracts will be expiring worthless in 28 days. My premium is quoted at 6 cents, and the premium is now up to 8 cents, and the P&L is reflecting a positive balance of $50. So how this is calculated, so real quickly, the premium I entered is at 6 cents. Now each option contract is equal to holding 100 shares of the underlying security. So that's what this 100 is pertaining to. So the multiplier is 100. So one option contract is valued at $6. I picked up 25 contracts, not including commission. This is a $150 risk. So I'm risking $150 over the next 28 days, anticipating a move to the upside for $27.50, at least $27.50. So that's, or the alternative was picking up 2,500 shares of this ETF at using the closing price of $27.15. had I purchased 2,500 shares, the capital requirement would have been greater than $67,800. Now, again, because the dollar has been dropping, I'm essentially betting against the market or the dollar for a bullish 30 days or so. So I thought I'd just mitigate the risk and risk $150 versus $68,000. So that's the general story as to why I opted to pick up options, no pun intended, for this trade. So for the purpose of time, I will pause it here. I'll do periodic updates considering there's about a month worth of trading left. I'll do a status check when something more significant does occur, mostly when, if or when price breaks above 27.50, but time will tell. So I'll end it here for now. Today's Wednesday, January 17th, and as of the time of this recording, UUP is quoted at $27.76, but this is on a partially delayed data. When I'm keeping an eye on UUP on another chart, and if I can switch it over, UUP is actually quoted at $27.77. And right here, this is the current candlestick here. And with 2 days remaining before these contracts expire worthless, switching over to the trade tab, again, this is all delayed data. The contracts are designated ITM or in the money. The premiums are quoted at $28, but actually in real time it's $31. And the P&L is reflecting a positive balance of $533. Again, this is all on partially delayed data. What I'll do is I'll switch over to the option chart. I'm going to go ahead and close this position out because there's only 2 days remaining, and just to protect any volatility to the downside, I'd rather just take this profit right now and call it a day. So I'll switch over in a little bit. So this is the option chart right here by the ticker. It's UUP, January 19th expiration with the 27.5 strike price on the call side. So what I'll do is I'll open this up and I'll go ahead and place an order in to close out the 25 contracts. Let's see if I can close it out at 31. So my order is sitting here at 31. Let's see if I could get it at 30. Again, this is all on delayed data, so it's very difficult to see. There, I closed it at 30. So at 30, what I'll do is I'll provide a breakdown. So if I was close it at 30 times 100, as each option contract is equal to 100 shares. So it's scaling out these positions. There's 16 contracts left. There's 12 remaining. So right here. So this is all partial fills right now. So under the net position, it's 12 out of the 25 are remaining. So this is still a work in progress. So if I'm able to close out those 25 contracts at $30 per contract, that's a gross profit of $750. And this was a capital requirement of 150. So this is a net profit of approximately $600. I'll provide a breakdown once all these positions are sold out, but right now there's 12 contracts remaining. And because, again, this is all partially delayed data, it's very difficult for me to gauge exactly the true bid price. But I'll go ahead and pause it here, and I'll pick it up when net position right here is reflecting 0. So it's been a few minutes. I've actually canceled the 12 remaining order. I'm keeping an eye on the real-time data, and the bid has dropped to $24 or 24 cents, which is right here. So I'm going to see if I could sell it at 25. Yeah, no, the order's still sitting there. Yeah, this might take a while, but the first lot, the first 13 contracts I sold at 30 equates to $297. And if I'm able to close this out at 25, let me see what that would come out to. 25. That would be an additional $241. So whether it gets filled or not, I might have to drop it down to 24. But in any case, I picked these contracts up at $6. So that would be a 1 to 8 risk to reward if I sell it at 24. So let me see if I can do that here. Yeah, no, it's just sitting there. I'd like to sell it at market. Also of note, while that's pending, the dollar index is now quoted at, well, again, this is all delayed data. The dollar index is over $103.56 at this point. When I entered this trade, the dollar index was quoted at $101.70. So it's rallied almost $2 full since this end of December when I got into this position. Yeah, so I'll continue to try to liquidate the remaining 12 contracts. Right here, it says net position 12. So this is what's remaining of the original 25 contracts. So I'll continue trying to sell this, and then I'll update accordingly. And until the next update or next trade, I'll see you. So a quick update. I was able to sell the last 12 contracts. Right here it says net position is 0. I was able to sell it at 27. That's the current bid price, which is right here, right above the ask of 30. So the full liquidation of the 25 contracts between the two lots, first 13 at 30 and then the last 12 at 27, a net profit of $562. I'll provide a breakdown at the end of this, but I'll switch over to the trade tab. So here's the trade tab. The quantity position is 0. Trade price is 0. And yeah, so the overall trade is flat. Took a while for this trade to happen. I was anticipating the dollar to move up a lot sooner, but with 2 days remaining, I was fortunate enough that it did and make this a profitable trade. So as mentioned, I will provide a breakdown of the trade at the end, and until next trade, I'll be back.